You are breathtaking. Serious, what is the biggest secret you've kept from your parents? I make more money than I'll let on. My parents have and will always be the I take care of you all your life. Time for you to pay it back type of parent. Except there is no end to this debt. So I hide money from them so they can't take advantage of me. Same. The entire time I was growing up my mom constantly reminded me she could legally sue me for $10K when I was 18 for raising me. This is my biological mother. I grew up scared. With this threat over my head it seemed pointless to try to make anything of myself. By the time I was old enough to know better, the mentality had sunken and I was pretty much a huge loser until I was about 22. Edit to clarify. No, your parents cannot sue you for the cost of raising you. It was said to incite fear and generally be an arsehole parent. That's wise. I actually did know why my laptop wasn't working. I spilt a fair bit of Jack Daniels on it. That I was molested as a kid and suicidal for years afterwards. They knew I had a nervous breakdown freshman year of high school and was suicidal at 15. They didn't know I'd been messed up since I was 10. Being sexually abused by my cousins, which my mom would leave me at their house to go to the casino a lot as a kid. I'm so sorry. The same with me when I was around 10 with my cousin. She babysat me a lot. Now she still tries to be close with me and I just try to go with it. My parents would be devastated if they knew. My mom doesn't know I've been arrested twice. One time with my dad. Story time. When I was at Walmart with my mom, and I stole 2 of those big cartons full of Pokemon cards. Took the cards and stuffed them in my back pocket. I planned the whole robbery a week before. I was the best robber at 9. I guess you were destined for thug life. Stole money for weed and regret it to this day. My lazy ass should have just gotten a job instead. Sneak the same amount of money somewhere your parents will find it. Edit. Just realized I assumed you stole it from a parent. When I was in the 7th grade I started to get into porn and my favorite, for some reason, was guy on guy stuff even though I'm a girl. Anyways, I didn't know how anything but YouTube worked so I ended up downloading like 3 gay porn videos on my phone and I had an Android so when I deleted the videos the download history was still in my phone. For some reason my mom took my phone and went through it and sat me down and asked me about the porn she found on it. But for some more context I had to keep my phone in the living room at night and could only have it during the day. Now I'm not proud of this but I'm a good liar. But in this situation I didn't have to do much lying because as soon as I started crying and saying I didn't do it she immediately believed me and blamed it on my stepdad, saying that she had a suspicion that he was gay through their whole relationship and all that. After that she never confronted him and just continued to stay with him even though she thought he was gay and that's when I realized my mom was a gold digger. Well that escalated. When I was around 14 I overheard my parents arguing. My mom was yelling at my dad about some porn searches on the computer. It was really me that was going on the computer in their room and watching porn. He kept denying it and she kept calling him a liar. He slept in the guest bedroom for a month after that fight. He searched for porn too. Your dad knew and totally had your back. I was heavily addicted to morphine for my entire time at university. Hope you're better now. My depression and the fact I nearly failed out of first year because I couldn't handle university. I hope you're doing better now. I used to watch South Park when they thought I was sleeping. I used to watch Family Guy. I was accused of rape when I was 17, legally an adult in Texas so they didn't have to tell them and a detective took my phone for the school day to verify the texts proving the encounter was consensual were real. Really weird time in my life, having to deal with the fallout at school and not telling them the truth. Why didn't you tell them? Sounds horrible to go through. I understand you were scared, and I am glad you were cleared. I probably would have done the same thing. However, that is the wrong thing to do. Kids out there, if you get accused of a serious crime, call your parents. Unless they are abusive or deadbeats they will get a lawyer and move heaven and earth to keep you out of prison. Many cops are honest, some are not. They will use every trick they know to intimidate you into admitting to something illegal. It is very easy for them to manipulate kids, and they do not have your best interests in mind. Call your parents, get a lawyer, do not speak to the police alone. I guarantee that prison is worse than pissing off your parents. Edit. The comments below contain lots of good advice that I thought I should summarize here. The gist of it is this. If you get arrested, Call a lawyer. Do not speak to the police at all unless the words are "I want a lawyer." Regardless of the quality or intentions of the police, they are smarter than you. They have been in this situation 1000 times, and you have not. You will not outsmart them. They will not go easier on you if you try to help. Protect yourself. Get a lawyer. Say nothing else. That my sister is gay. She openly admits it to everyone, except for my family. She opened up to me, eventually, but both my parents and older brother don't know about it. Since then we've become a lot closer than when we were kids. Same. My sister is bi, and she told me when I told her I am. So as an older sibling I told my folks I am. So if she decides to tell them it'll be a bit easier for her. When I was 17 I rented Not Another Teen Movie, watched it and returned it without them finding out. They wouldn't have approved. I have been keeping the fact I was sexually assaulted at 13 a secret for years. Hope you did tell someone. I know the emotional toll rape can take on survivors/victims, and I am sorry it happened. My dad traded him being killed for sexual favors with me for an extended period of time when I was a teen. I told my mom about some of the smaller stuff and she didn't believe me, so I didn't even try. My husband is supportive. I was a high-functioning depressed alcoholic for my whole college life. My mom always wondered why I didn't have friends in high school, and it is because we were broke and I knew she was struggling, so I refused anytime people wanted to do things so I wouldn't ask for money. Then in my last year of high school I worked full-time, so I had no time to make friends. Parents are, and raised me to be, staunch Mormon. For those unfamiliar, Mormons believe their church is the only true church on earth. I don't believe it's true. They think I still go, but it's infrequent at best. Edit. A lot of people are commenting, don't all religions think they're true? Yes, but there's a difference. Mormons believe themselves to be Christians, but don't believe that's enough. Part of being the one true church means that you have to be baptized in this church, proper authority. This church has living prophets. You have to get married in a temple to get to the top step of heaven, and so forth. Stepping away from the church, even within the realm of Christianity, still means damnation to Mormons. Edit 2. By damnation, I mean this. Mormons don't believe general people go to hell. Hell is reserved for people who had a full knowledge of Jesus Christ and rejected it. Rather, because Mormons believe they can become gods if they reach the tippy top of the three heavens, where they can have eternal progression. Anything short of eternal progression is, by definition, damnation. My parents believe their specific version of Christianity is the only true religion. They know I don't go to church, but they also think my wife and I are going to hell. Still love me, but don't know how to treat me. I got someone pregnant and I'm pretty sure she kept the baby and didn't tell me. You are pretty sure she kept the baby, but she didn't tell you? Sounds like a great scapegoat. That I don't love them. I care about them in the way I care for a hurt stranger, but I won't be crying when they die except for over the stress of handling the funeral and finding a place for their kid and animals to live. Edit some explanation. Also, thanks for all the positive words and glad it helped some of you. Ran debts in my name and never helped me out. For example, I was homeless twice in my mid-20s, but I couldn't stay with them apparently. At 18 I still didn't have a license because I couldn't borrow their car. Eventually saved up and paid for lessons. Not that I could afford a car until a few years later. At 20 had a job interview at a well-paying company, asked if they could drive me an hour to get there or let me drive. They agreed, and day of going they never showed up. Wrecked my ability when I lived with them from 16-22 by going off almost every week, leaving me with the kid and animals. A lot more that I'm not going to talk about. Second edit. Yes, the kid is related to me and would be a sibling, and no, we don't have a good relationship, and no, not all his fault. But for my mental health I won't associate with him. I will help him out as far as setting him up, but that's it. That I'm highly involved in the BDSM community in my city. Even 10 bar at our local fetish club a couple times a month. My fiance and I are super vanilla passing, which is lucky. They're happier not knowing. Edit. Just wanted to clarify. The secret really is the community involvement. Not just that I'm into kinky sex. It's a big part of how I spend time outside the bedroom at events and parties. As far as my parents are concerned, I had to make up fake stories for how I met all those friends. I know people don't generally talk to their parents about their sex life, but this is my social life as well. Please subscribe if you liked the video. It really helps the channel to grow. Adios.